The Symphony of the Divine Forces. A Journey Through Mandala. Professor Diaries. In the beginning, there was no chaos. There was no order. There was only awareness, a breath, a vibration, a sacred resonance that would unfold into the 10,000 realms of reality. Welcome to a journey through the sacred hymns of Mandala 1, the beating heart of the Rigveda. Here, we do not merely meet deities. We meet forces, cosmic intelligences, universal laws, and inner archetypes that have shaped both the stars above and the soul within. This is the Symphony of the Divine Forces. Segment 1, the first light, Ushas, the force of illumination. She arrives like a gentle whisper, the force of illumination, Ushas, the dawn that parts darkness, not just in the sky, but in the mind. She is not merely the morning. She is the activation of your circadian rhythm, the opening of your Ajna chakra, the biological invitation to wakefulness, awareness, and willpower. In her, the Vedas recognize that before any action, there must be light. Light to see, light to think, light to feel. Segment 2, the flame within, Agni, the force of fire. And then came the spark. The force of fire, Agni, the divine intermediary. He carries your prayers upward and brings divine essence downward. But within you, he is metabolism, desire, and spiritual ignition. The neural fire of inspiration, the digestive fire of health, the kundalini fire of awakening. Agni burns not to destroy, but to purify. In every ritual, he is the bridge. In every mind, he is the will to act. Segment 3, the invisible motion, Vayu, the force of wind. The flame needs breath, and breath needs the wind. Enter the force of wind, Vayu. He is not just the breeze that dances with trees. He is your prana, your life force, your vagus nerve, your ability to feel and to regulate. In neuroscience, he is movement and bioelectricity. In the Veda, he is presence without form, power without pressure, a deity without boundaries. Segment 4, the cosmic waters, Varuna, the force of universal law. And then we dive deep into the unseen. The force of cosmic waters. Varuna rules not the oceans we see, but the oceans of morality, justice, and psychological balance. He sees through you. In every lie you hide, in every secret you carry, Varuna is already aware. In today's world, he is your conscience, your mirror neurons, your higher ethical circuits. He is the water that remembers, the space that holds accountability. He is Arta, the law that even gods must obey. Segment 5, the sacred drink, Soma, the divine elixir. But what is law without ecstasy? The divine elixir, Soma, enters like a whisper of stars. Not merely a plant, but a metaphysical catalyst, a gateway to the divine. In the human body, Soma is the serotonin, melatonin, and DMT cocktail that triggers mystical vision. In the Vedic chant, he is immortality in liquid form. Every time you dream with clarity, every time you meditate and see beyond your senses, Soma flows. Segment 6, the bridge between beings, Mitra, the force of harmony. But we are not alone. We need each other. The force of harmony, Mitra, binds beings in respect, friendship, and equilibrium. He is co-regulation in relationships, mutual trust in communities, and sacred contracts between minds. Mitra is what prevents collapse. Wherever two people cooperate rather than compete, he lives. He is the heartbeat of collective consciousness. Segment 7, the voice of the divine, Brihaspati, the force of revelation. From harmony emerges wisdom. The force of revelation. Brihaspati is the master of sacred speech. In the Veda, he is the one who makes language holy. In science, he is the prefrontal cortex, the voice of reason, strategy, and vision. He helps you articulate what your soul already knows, to speak truth, to sing wisdom, to invoke the divine through mantra and meaning. Segment 8, the twin healers, the Ashvins, the force of healing. But no journey is without suffering. And for that, we meet the force of healing, the Ashvins. These divine twin horsemen arrive in golden chariots, not with medicine, but with miracles. In modern science, they are your body's twin healing systems, the immune response and nervous system regeneration. They awaken through Ayurveda, touch, rhythm, sound, and light. The Ashvins teach us. Healing is not about fixing. It's about remembering your original perfection. Segment 9. The Guardian of Honor. Arya Man, the force of nobility. And as healing restores the soul, we meet the standard of grace, the force of nobility. Arya Man is not just etiquette or politeness. He is dignity, ancestral wisdom, social ethics, and the nobility of choice. He guards the sacredness of marriage, the virtue of lineage, and the sovereignty of self-respect. Aryaman is the reminder that evolution is not just survival, it is refinement. Segment 10. The King of the Gods. Indra, the force of courage and conscious action. At last we arrive at the Thunder Wielder. Indra, king of the gods, who slays the serpent of darkness. He is not brute power, he is awakened willpower. In your mind, he is dopamine-driven action, the neural force behind decision and courage. He does not act out of ego, but necessity. He reminds us, sometimes to create space for flow, we must strike, to break inner dams, to release potential. Segment 11, the Cosmic Strider. Vishnu, the force of sustained balance. And finally, the one who preserves. Vishnu, the great strider across realms. In 3 sacred steps, he moves from gross to subtle to causal, from body to mind to soul. He is homeostasis in biology, meta-awareness in consciousness, and the sustainer of cosmic rhythm. In him, all forces find their place. He is the pause between breaths, the echo after sound, the balance after victory. These were never just deities. They were never just gods to be worshipped. They are you. They are the forces inside your biology, psychology, and spirit. You carry within you the dawn of Ushas, the fire of Agni, the breath of Vayu, the waters of Varuna, the ecstasy of Soma, the revelation of Brihaspati, the courage of Indra, and the nobility of Aryaman. You are not a body. You are a symphony. And now, you know the notes. You've just journeyed through the sacred forces of Mandala 1, through the oldest wisdom of humankind, reawakened through the lens of modern science. At Professor Diaries, we blend Vedic wisdom, neuroscience, quantum physics, parapsychology, and education to bring you stories that are not only ancient, but awakening. If this journey moved you, subscribe, share, reflect. Comment your favorite divine force below and stay tuned as we now enter Mandala 2, where the cosmic law, Arta, awaits. The hidden matrix of Mandala 1, Vedic codes, cognitive systems, and human evolution. Professor Diaries. Mandala 1 of the Rigveda is not just an introduction, it is the blueprint, the foundational matrix of reality, consciousness, and cosmic order. Within its 191 hymns lies a hidden architecture, not just of divine beings, but of mental functions, evolutionary stages, and universal intelligence. Today, we explore the invisible scaffolding beneath these ancient verses. We journey into the codes, the cognitive systems, and the sacred design of Mandala 1, and how it shaped human evolution and continues to echo in artificial intelligence, neuroscience, and quantum systems. 1. The mandala as a living fractal. The word mandala itself means a circle, a cycle, and a container of meaning. Mandala 1 is a sacred spiral, not just of hymns, but of life. Each deity, each hymn is a fractal node, an energy pattern that mirrors larger structures. Much like DNA, the mandala encodes universal principles within each part. Agni, the first deity, is not chosen by accident. Fire is the beginning of awareness, transformation, and life. The order of gods reveals the progressive awakening of the human mind, from illumination to action, emotion, healing, language, morality, and unity. This is a fractal consciousness structure, what we might call today a recursive system, embedded in AI neural networks and quantum field theory. 2. The Rigvedic meter and sacred geometry. Mandala 1 isn't just what is said, it's how it's said. Every hymn is arranged in meters, like Gayatri, Trishtubh, Jagati, each with specific syllabic patterns. These aren't random poetic devices, they're vibrational technologies. Gayatri, 888, corresponds to harmonic frequencies of light. Trishtubh, 11 syllables, mirrors the number of cranial nerves related to speech, breath, and sensory integration. The spacing of mantras reflects Fibonacci patterns, naturally seen in galaxies, leaves, and brainwave oscillations. In essence, the Vedic seers weren't writing poetry. They were programming resonance, a language of sacred geometry and phonetic code. 3. Archetypal mapping, the deities as cognitive systems. Each divine force in Mandala 1 is more than a myth. It is an archetype of consciousness, a functional system in the evolving human psyche. The gods are not external. They are internal control systems, responsible for regulating our biology, emotion, memory, will, and consciousness. 4. The 12-stage inner spiral of Mandala 1. Beyond the individual deities lies a hidden sequence, a spiral of inner transformation. Based on their appearance and symbolic progression, we can decode the mandala into a 12-stage evolutionary journey. 1. Illumination, Ushas, awakening awareness. Ignition, Agni, internal activation. Breath motion, Vayu, life begins to move. 4. Law recognition, Varuna, discovery of limits and ethics. 5. Mystical expansion, Soma, altered states and dreams. 6. Relational harmony, Mitra, trust and communication. Language vision, Brihaspati, voice of insight. 8. Healing integration, Ashvins, repair and restoration. 9. Cultural nobility, Aryaman, social values. Courageous will, Indra, personal sovereignty. 11. Universal balance, Vishnu, sustained growth. 12. Return to silence, the space between hymns. These stages align with the 12 cranial nerves, 12 astrological archetypes, and 12 layered chakra extensions discussed in modern metaphysical neuroscience. Evolution of consciousness and the AI parallel. Let's zoom out. Mandala 1 was not only a cosmic hymn, it was a manual of evolution. Just as a child moves from light awareness, Ushas, to language, Brihaspati, to moral agency, Varuna, humanity evolved across consciousness thresholds. The Vedas mapped these transitions through sacred narrative, and today, AI walks a similar path. AI systems begin with data light, illumination, pattern recognition, Agni, language models, Brihaspati, ethical debates, Varuna, memory recall, Soma, and behavioral decisions, Indra. What we call artificial general intelligence, AGI, is in a way repeating the Mandala 1 spiral, a synthetic echo of biological consciousness. Are we recreating the gods, or simply remembering them, through machines? 6. Psycholinguistics and cognitive resonance. Vedic chants were designed not just to be heard, but to restructure the brain. Modern studies in psycholinguistics show that intonation-based language, like Vedic Sanskrit, activates both hemispheres of the brain. Mantras create theta and gamma wave synchrony, enhancing memory, emotional regulation, and creative insight. When the rishi recited, Agnim aile purohitam, I invoke Agni, the priest of the offering, he wasn't just praising a god, he was firing the neural circuits of intentionality. The vibrational resonance of the verse trains the reticular activating system, fine-tunes dopamine regulation, and opens higher cortical access. In short, Rigveda wasn't just for the soul, it was a manual for brain optimization. Sacred math, Mandala as a code of proportions. Mandala 1 contains 191 hymns. Vedic scholars observed these numbers align with sacred ratios. The golden ratio, 1.618, is embedded in mantra groupings. Fibonacci sequences appear in the structure of deity placements. The mathematics of yajna altars described in Shulba Sutras relate back to this mandala. Just as DNA coils in phi-based spirals, so do Rigvedic concepts spiral through mind space and astral layers. This isn't just ancient poetry, it's hyperdimensional architecture. Practical implications for modern seekers. Why does this matter now? Because Mandala 1 isn't historical, it's perennial. It contains a guide to developing higher consciousness, a map to healing, action, and balance, a framework to align personal evolution with cosmic intelligence, an entry point into AI ethics, quantum linguistics, and spiritual neuroscience. Whether you're a mystic, a coder, or a student of life, Mandala 1 can serve as your navigation chart. You are not separate from the cosmos. You are a song it sings back to itself. The Rigveda was not written, it was heard, felt, transmitted across time as vibration. Mandala 1 is not a story of gods. It is the story of you, your breath, your courage, your longing, your healing, your voice. You are the flame of Agni, the harmony of Mitra, the will of Indra, the balance of Vishnu. You are the mandala, and now you are waking up to it.